Okay, as you can see, I've completely covered my area I'm working with today with peel-away paper. Now this area is a little bit bigger than I would normally work with, and the reason I'm doing this is because the weekend's coming up. I know I'll be taking this down over the weekend. I'll have a little bit more time to do it. But on a weeknight, because I do have to go to my day job during the day, I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have set up to take off this much after it's all digested on a weeknight. So this is a bigger area. Try and keep something a little bit smaller when you're doing it. Now here's a problem. We've got some peel away paste up there on the paint, and we've got the paper underneath. Gravity is not your friend. What gravity will do is it will basically start pulling on that. And as the peel away digests the paint, the gravity will pull, the paint will disadhere, and it will start to fall. Now these things may not actually fall down, but even if they don't fall down, it won't do as good of a job, because gravity will have basically made a little bubble pocket where the paint will fall down, it won't become in contact, and so what will happen is the outer layers of paint will get removed very well, but the inner layers of paint, where a bubble formed between the outer layers and the inner layers as it digested it, will basically remain stuck. And you won't have good results, and you'll have to do it again. You don't want to do that because this is a big paint. So what you need to do is you need to apply some kind of pressure to that. Now on the ceiling, how are you going to apply pressure? Well, I made a little device to do this. I'll show you how I did it. I basically got 2x4s from the hardware store, and I made something that's about as tall as my ceiling, a little bit shorter. On the bottom of it, you can see that I put a little a bracket on here to hold it in place, or I just nailed it in place down here, so I have a base of it to keep it steady on the bottom. I put the T part on the bottom, and I use this to brace it up top. Now you can see that this doesn't quite reach, and there's a reason. I mean, I can't just have a 2x4 poking up there. I need something that is going to make contact. So what I made to do that is it's basically a piece of plywood right here. This piece of plywood is cut in similar dimensions as my ceiling tiles. My ceiling tiles are 1 foot square, and I usually do 4 at a time in a setting on the ceiling. So this covers 4 square feet. It's cut exactly to that size. And I put a couple brackets on here to hold 2x4s on the end of the plywood. And you can see that I made a little tongue and groove, a groove in here. So basically the top of this long 2x4 will slide into this groove I have right here. And you can see I'm holding it together with a combination of bungee cords and screws, and this is a very, very improvised thing, but this has lasted me for 2 months and it hasn't fallen apart, so you don't have to do that good of workmanship of making a tool of yourself like this. On the top, you can see it's got all kinds of junk on it from the peel away process. This is from many, many uses. You need something that's kind of spongy. You can see right here it's spongy. Foam rubber is what I wanted to do, but I couldn't find a place that would sell that reasonably priced. So what I ended up with was some fiberglass insulation. I basically just put 1-inch thick fiberglass insulation on top of this. I wrapped a trash bag around it, and then I basically taped it underneath, and that seems to hold it in place. And it basically gives a flexible surface on top, so it has a little bit of give. The 2x4. The 2x4s warp a little bit. Your ceiling probably isn't perfectly flat, and so as a result of that, you need something that has a little bit of give. But I found that the fiberglass does pretty well. If you've got some foam rubber, that'll work well too. So I'm going to put this up here. Let's see. Climb up my ladder. This is a rather inelegant process, so pardon me. Just figure out an angle where this isn't going to disturb you in the room when you put it up. So line that up with your work area. Then get the groove so the tongue of the 2x4 can go into it. And basically, I just wedge the 2x4 into the groove, and then I pull it toward me so it's braced. Make sure this is nice and even up here. Just a little more. That looks pretty good. All right, so this is basically going to hold this in place for a couple days. Puts a little bit of pressure on it, and so it isn't going to fall down, and so it's going to basically keep digesting it. We're going to leave this up here for 2 days, and then I will we'll come back, and I will show you how to take it off. See you in a couple days.